Hi, Windjammer here. So this video was supposed to come out a while ago, like at the start of the season, but um, there was more patch notes than I was expecting, and it kind of just kept getting pushed back. But I'm doing it now. So what I want to do with this video is I want to talk about the changes to Ibara and some other relevant patch note changes. Not all of them, just the stuff that we care about around here. And then I want to talk about the new character Tamaki, the new quirk skill sets that'll be coming out soon, and then I want to talk about tuning as well as the new game mode. But yeah, let's get into it. So first up are the changes to Ibara. So this will be quick because there's only two changes. The first change is that they increased the range of her special action. So they increased it by maybe about like 5 or 6 feet. It's not horribly significant, but it is noticeable in game. The reason why I think they did this is so that way if someone goes down on top of a building, you should be able to reach them. Don't quote me on that. I haven't really like checked, but I think that's why they did that because the horizontal distance just seems very insignificant for the most part, and I don't really know why that's something that they felt needed to be addressed. But either way, it's nice. You will notice it. So, yeah. The other change is that they've it looks like they noticed that Ibarra was nuking everybody with her alpha. So anyway, quick scoping can no longer be done. So that's good. Now you can just quick scope people and just do 160 damage like you're supposed to with Ibarra. And yeah, so Ibarra is back to being fair again. So yippee. The only other character I want to talk about for their changes is Twice. So Twice got absolutely gutted. Like, I mean, they actually butchered him. And I'm going to say it since nobody else will. Twice players absolutely deserved it. Because if you were here back in season 3 or whenever Twice dropped, he actually came out and was actually a pretty balanced character. His damage was a little bit on the weaker side, but it was like he's a rapid, like damage shouldn't be his main priority. It should be mobility and just like being annoying and stuff, which Twice is very annoying. Even when he wasn't overpowered. But anyway, I remember saying like they better not buff this guy because he's going to be a problem if they do. Now, granted, them buffing the gamma the way they did is not what I was expecting. I was just like an alpha buff would be bad, but they buffed the alpha, then they buffed the gamma, and he became an absolute demon and just terrorized like lobbies for seasons to come. But anyway, so the buff that they did now is they made it to where he can't combo his alpha out after his gamma, and he can't combo his gamma after his alpha. So basically, he just has like these pauses in his attacks, and basically he has no burst damage anymore because his bread and butter combo is no longer possible, which is just bad for Twice. But anyway, had they just you know had people just not complained about Twice and just got better with him and just played better, they would have learned like he still had his burst damage. It's just not as easy to do because you have to aim better and all that. But anyway, yeah. So they took away the combo because the combo was problematic, but the problem wasn't actually the combo. It was just how easy it was to do because basically you can just miss with Twice and get a full combo anyway. But anyway, Twice, he sucks now. Sure, he'll be a problem if you get like a full bot army, but like that's not happening because like everybody on the roster can handle Twice pretty easily now. So anyway, the tier list that I made a while back of like Ibara's like um matchups, yeah, Twice is in lol tier now. Like you really see you should not be losing to Twice unless he's like trying to 1v3 you or something. But yeah. Next up is they made a bunch of changes to reviving and just in general they seem to be moving the game more toward like a support oriented not necessarily a meta but just you know gameplay. So when you use a revive card, your teammates will spawn in with iframes. I don't know if this applies to um insta-reses like Ibara's special action, but either way, when you bring your team back, they'll have iframes, so as long as you don't attack, you should be fine. The person doing the reviving won't have iframes, but yeah. Let's see. They also made it to where if you are down in storm and your teammate runs over to revive you, you'll stop taking storm damage. So you can actually do storm reses and like not have people die in your arms, which is pretty sick. I showed that off on the first video of this season, and it's extremely useful. So you can actually make some pretty disgusting storm plays if you know what you're doing. Then what else? What else did they do? They also made it to where team heals fully heal the entire team instead of like mostly heal it. Don't know why that was a thing, but it was. As well as there's generally just a bigger emphasis on playing support, so you get more ranked points for reviving people and drinking team heals, and you can see this even at the end scoreboard. So that's really good for support players and support-minded players. So grinding rank should be a little bit easier for Ibarra mains and whatnot. So yeah, um, overall I like these changes because it used like ranked used to just be, oh, whoever did the most damage got the most points or got the most kills or whatever, which is like that's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's important to emphasize um getting like protecting your team and doing stuff like that, like not just getting kills. Plus, also that kind of just favors like strikes and rapids and assaults and stuff, like characters that can like put out a lot of damage or you know, right? So anyway, that's good. All right, next up, I want to talk about the new character Tamaki or Sun Eater, the final member of the big three. So people were asking where I'd rank him on my tier list. Again, it's just my opinion. Honestly, I think I'd put him kind of right around where Strike Deku might have been in the, I think that was Please Reconsider tier. I think that's where that was. Anyway, the main reason for that is that Tamaki, well, I don't think he's overpowered or anything. I do think he's just a very tricky character to deal with because one of the main things about him is that he has 3 alphas. Because he has his close range alpha, he has his critical hit alpha when he hits you with the tip of the swordfish, and then if he zooms in, he has the tentacle grab. The tentacle grab I think is very problematic because basically he has at level 9 he's got 7 command grabs, which ranged command grabs are not fun to deal with, and I kind of wish they'd stop adding stuff like that into the game, or at least if you're going to give somebody a command grab like that, like a ranged one, it needs to be like Assault Deku, where Assault Deku he has 1 Black Whip, 2 if he's at level 9, but you know, yeah. Also, Deku, if Deku wants to grab you, he has to be on the ground to grab you. Like he can't do it in the air. Aizawa is the same idea. Now Aizawa can still like pull himself to you in the air, but the reason why Shinzo and Tamaki are so annoying as far as like getting pulled by them is because they can be mid-air while they do it. So like they'll be above you, pull you to them, or in the case of Shinzo, he'll slam you. But you know, basically someone can be above your head and you get a full combo dropped on you because like you got pulled to them. It's just kind of like, what are we doing? But other than that, it's like whatever. His beta, it's not too bad, although it has one issue, which is if he, it has 500 knockdown value. So what that means is that if you get hit by that, you get knocked immediately. And so basically you can't armor through that because his beta comes out in 1 hit while Ibara's comes out in multiple hits. So he can basically kind of interrupt your attack, which is kind of annoying since his beta isn't armored, but it just knocks you down immediately. Now, they did that so probably that way his combos aren't so insane, which is understandable. So with his beta, you're really just going to have to like, I think you can jump over it if you time it right, or like if you do like a jump and then grab like at the top of your jump to get a little bit more height. But yeah, you're just gonna have to roll that. Although rolling gets pretty rough too because the tracking on his beta is pretty crazy and the hitbox is massive. So the move's kind of annoying. And then if he hits you, he turns invisible. But it's like whatever. His gamma is honestly a non-issue. He is armored once he starts firing, so like you know you got to be careful about that. But you can just hit him with, but like if he's not shooting at you, you can just hit him with two alphas and knock him out of it and do a ton of damage to him while you're at it. So that's cool. His special action isn't too bad. The only thing I don't like about it is I don't like how short the cooldown is. Like the cooldown like is I think 4 seconds. Once he touches the ground, he can't recharge while he's in the air. But anyway, I just think that's just way too fast. And basically, Tamaki ends up being like a really, really, really fast character, despite not being a rapid and not seeming like he's a fast character, but he ends up like basically always in the air above you because his mobility is just never on cooldown. So anyway, that's really kind of how I feel about the character. I don't really think he's like overpowered. I just think he has a few like numbers that should probably be tweaked a little bit, but that's really about it, I guess. All right, next up, I want to talk about the new skill sets, Endeavor and Mirio. Since they're not out yet, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it since like I've seen the leaks and stuff of what they can do, but obviously it's not official yet, so there's no point in worrying about it. All I'm gonna say is, Assault Endeavor looks like he's gonna be just aerial Shiggy, like Shiggy, but he can fly. So doesn't look fun for us ground players to deal with that, but we'll see. And Tech Mirio probably is going to be meta. I mean, I'm looking at that and I'm just sitting here thinking like, when is he actually like not invincible? So yeah, just saying, just saying. Anyway, let's move on to tuning. So the first thing I want to talk about is Tamaki's tuning. So Tamaki is a strike, so his regular tuning is going to take up strike slots. It says his tuning is Gamma Power Plus and extra jump height. So if you want to use him in grab combos or in like a grab build, Tamaki, that's a good one to go with. And his special tuning is Ability Manifest. This one, I think this was going to be really, really good. So what it does is it increases how long you can use ability cards. So strike cards, rapid cards, tech cards, all that stuff. Um, so when it's at level 11, the modifier is 1.6. So what that means is however long your card lasts. So at level 1, a level 1 card lasts 5 seconds. What you would do is you would take the 5 seconds and multiply that by 1.6 to get your new duration of a ability card. So at level 1, an ability card lasts about um, 8 seconds because you take 5 seconds, multiply that by 1.6 and you get 8. And then at level 9, I think it's something like um, I think cards last 53 seconds, something like that. But um, anyway, at level 9 with ability manifest, a level 11 ability manifest, you should get something like 85 seconds of duration from ability manifest. So anyway, cards can last really, really long. Essentially, it turns a level 1 into a level 2 and a level 2 into level 3, more or less, something kind of like that. But anyway, yeah, you get some pretty crazy numbers up there. So that's going to be really good strike tuning, especially since I like that it's a hero tuning, hero strike tuning. So anyway, yeah, I think that's going to be very good. Assault Endeavor. Now, so far since he's not out yet, I can only speculate, but at least from what I've seen, and hopefully it stays this way and nothing changes. But his base tuning, from what I've seen, is going to be guard point power and HP defense. That's really, really good because Endeavor is going to be an assault. So basically, you're getting a strike, you're getting a strike bonus on an assault slot. So that's going to be really, really good, and that's really, really good. I'm basically like a lot of the builds that I'm already running now, since a lot of them have. I usually just run like All Might's regular tuning for like defense. So basically, you just swap All Might with Endeavor. And then his special tuning, for what I've seen, is that your Plus Ultra is going to last longer. it looks like it's going to give you an extra 15 seconds of plus ultra, which is massive. And the reason why this is so good is because basically what you can do is you can pop plus ultra, and then if you need to like heal or whatever, because like you pop plus ultra like 1 HP or something, you can just pop plus ultra, get everybody off you, run away, heal real quick, and then by the time you're done healing, you know, you still got a ton of plus ultra left to like fight with. When Ibara and plus ultra is nasty. Like you've seen the numbers, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I think that's gonna be really good. As well as you can combo it with Endeavor, like Strike Endeavor tuning, and when you do that, um, it pretty much negates the Strike Endeavor like downside to the tuning because it shortens the length of your plus ultra meter. So anyway, now you basically get double damage on your plus ultra, but you get about 25 seconds of plus ultra, so that's going to be really, really good. Unfortunately, I don't think Ibara has an outfit that can run that, or at least not a 3-star outfit. So unfortunately, we can't make use of that. But in general, I think that's going to be good on like other characters, you know. So yeah. Finally, there is Tech Mirio's tuning. So Tech Mirio, his tuning looks like it's going to be when you get your guard broken, you're going to become invincible for up to 7 seconds if you get it to level 11. So that is massive. This tuning is absolutely going to be meta, and I'm going to be surprised if anybody's not running this. Because what this is going to do is that it's going to stop like a lot of these like touch of death combos and stuff where you get hit and you just like lose everything. So that's just going to straight up stop that. Um, Going to be a bit annoying, especially for Ibara, because it's going to mess up her breakpoints. Because like a lot of times, what you do with Ibara is you hit somebody with beta and do 212 damage, right? Then you hit them with beta again, and then you finish off their guard points, and then like cut into like um you know like 180 of their HP points or whatever, however much they had left, right? So that this tuning is going to prevent that, and it's going to be available like every 15 seconds after it wears off or whatever. So yeah, it's going to be annoying to fight against, but it's also just going to be really good tuning to have. And like I said, I think everybody's just going to be running it. So we're going to see where that goes, right? Oh, and I don't know what the regular tuning is for Mirio, but it's tech tuning, so like it's I doubt it's going to be all that good. But it's probably like alpha speed or plus ultra speed or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, like I said, tech Mirio is going to be really, really good. Also, as far as like, I'm going to be rolling for the Mirio and the Endeavor quirk skill sets. Although what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till Mirio comes out and then just try to roll for both of them on the same banner. So that way, hopefully, I just get lucky and get Mirio and then just pity Endeavor. So if you're saving up tickets for skill sets or something, I kind of recommend you might want to do that, since that'll guarantee you get better stuff, probably. All right, next up is the new game mode. Um, Obviously, Biking hasn't said anything about it yet, but from what I've seen and heard, it looks like it's going to be like a 6v6 domination mode. So it's going to be like 3 zones you need to control for like a period of time, and the enemy teams are going to be like fighting to like control it. So it's 6v6, but basically how it looks like it's going to work is that 2 teams of 3 are going to be combined to make a team of 6. And then those teams of 6 fight against each other. It looks like they're doing that so that way people can't just make like 6-stack teams and stuff, which I'm down for, because that's going to be really annoying if you're like trying to solo queue in that mode, right? Unless they're going to make it so that way solo queues go up against other solo queues and something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited for the mode because if it works how I think it's going to work, I think it's going to be a mode where E-Bar is actually going to be like really, really good. And we might start seeing some more Ibara. Also, apparently you can play 2 different characters. Like you select 2 characters for yourself. I really don't know how that's going to work, especially with like newer players, because there's only 6 free characters. As far as like if you just turned on the game, you only have 6 characters, right? So I don't know how that's going to work if you don't have a character available. So Viking should probably look into that, or maybe make some more stuff free. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And finally, the part that everyone's been waiting on, the tuning builds I've been using. I finally tuned up all 6 of Ibara's Yukata Festival outfits, so yeah, I'm going to go through with them. So this first one is the Hero fit, as you can see. This one I'm using as like a tank build because it's got a ton of assault slots, as well as you can run a Revenge Assault at the top and Guard Point Sucker at the top. That's really about it. The only things you gotta keep out or watch out for is obviously, since you can level up to level 4 on the bottom 4 slots. Make sure that your strongest stuff is down there. That's why I have All Might, Overhaul, and All for One down there, and Bakugo as well for the gamma damage. If you can, if you have Kurogiri, run him instead of Momo. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Next up is the villain style. So the villain style, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really like this one all that much. It plays better than it looks. The main thing that carries this is HP Sucker. HP Sucker is really good. Since like it kind of just you can just kind of keep yourself up in a fight, as well as if you pop plus ultra and get it down, then you get your HP back. It's really nasty. And then high speed replenishment isn't as good as it used to be. I think it got slightly nerfed a little bit. Because I mean, it's really like a small drink only cuts off like a half second, and a full drink comes off like a second. Don't get me wrong, like you will notice those things. Like I mean, not too long ago, that actually saved my life. Since I got my health back faster. But yeah, the main issue with this build though is just that there's too many green slots. Like if I could use Ibara on Ibara tuning, then that wouldn't be as big of an issue. But unfortunately, I have to run Cementos and Compress, which is literally worthless. Um, Everything else is kind of just trying to make myself as tanky as possible with All for One, Tech Shoto, Momo, Overhaul. If you do have Kurogiri, put Kurogiri in the Momo slot, and then put Momo in the compressed slot, I guess, or cement sauce. Really doesn't matter. Both of those are terrible. Also, one other thing, with Endeavor's tuning, realistically, you'd want to put that where All Might is at the bottom of your builds and stuff, since again it's HP defense and guard point defense. Again, that is subject to change, so don't quote me on that. But if it stays the same, then yeah, it'll be really, really good. Yukata Heat. So Yukata Heat is my space hop build, and I've got revenge support to just kind of make myself a little bit tankier, keep myself alive. This one's pretty well balanced. I went with alpha power instead of HP power like I normally do, even though that would make my gamma really powerful as well, which I might swap that. But I kind of with having space hop makes this more of a sniper build. I feel like, since you can like get up to a high spot and snipe and do all that stuff. But you can run HP power as well. Obviously, if you have Kurogiri, run that instead. Oh, also Tech Denki is a good pick for this as well. I don't have them, so I can't really swap that out whenever I want. But Tech Denki is good. Only reason I'm running Mirio is because it helped my alphas reload faster. But other than that, you really should probably just run Bakugo for the gamma power. But yeah, that's about it on this build. Yukata Combat. So this was the first one I tuned up because of those double strike slots at the top. I'm finding I'm not liking this one as much as I thought I would, but it's still good. In general, this is just going to be a high damage build. Running double HP power, Revenge Strike, and Iron Fist, ton of damage all the time. Although Iron Fist just kind of got nerfed, so it's not as good now because you can't proc it on downed opponents, which is annoying. But whatever, right? Um, Although I have recently swapped this over to willpower instead. Willpower's I don't know how to feel about that, because like on one hand it's like it's useful, but on the other hand it's like you don't want to have to use willpower, if that makes sense. Because okay, cool, you survived the hit, but like now it's like okay, have no HP, right? But anyway, you can do a lot of different stuff with this one. You could also just run Bakugo up there and get your plus ultra faster. But overall, this one's solid. It's just or yeah, you could also run Tamaki. And I recommend you do that actually. All right, Yukata Fancy. This one I haven't used this one very much because this was the last one I made, and I'm still kind of like testing it out and stuff. So as you can see, it's got a bunch of rapid slots, which not great, but whatever. So ignore all of that. Most of that's useless except for Bakugo. At the top, we've got card duplication and crushing PU charge. So crushing PU charge, anytime you get a kill, that's 20% to your plus ultra, which is good. So that way you'll have 4 revives on standby if you need to do that. Card duplication. This will help you get your quirks faster, but the thing is that Ibara has trouble finishing downs early game because your alpha doesn't have to range and your beta doesn't have to damage, all that stuff, right? So what this is really for is you just loot up and get your alpha to 9 or your beta to 9, whatever you want, right? And then when you do start fighting, this is basically just so you can just basically get 2 kills and max out your last quirk. That's what this is for, and everything else you just put that into cards. But yeah, that's about it for that. And finally, Yukata Dangerous, the build that every Ibara player is running exactly how I have it here, probably. So, Warp Heal, Reinforced Revive goes without saying. Ibara is like kind of the best support in the game, or at least like as far as like revives go, right? Well, I mean, Kurogiri's pretty good, but it's not an instant revive, right? Anyway, yeah, Reinforced Revive, like there's like no reason not to run that, and then Warp Heal is really really good as well. If you don't have Kurogiri, then Cementos is a good option as well. Get the revenge support. As for the regular slots, the regular slots are kind of whatever, I guess. There's not really anything that like stands out for real. I suppose you could run Nejire where Aizawa or Tech Dabi is if you want to get your plus ultra back a little bit faster, I guess. But other than that, again, nothing really special there. So yeah. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed this, found this helpful, and I want to thank everybody for everybody who's subscribed and all that, because we are closing in on 1,000 subscribers, and it's kind of crazy that never thought this many people would be watching my stuff. So that's really really cool. So thank you, and keep an eye out for the next video. I think it's probably gonna be Dynamic Duo again.